I feel like coming out was much more of a public thing, and coming out as non-binary was really a private thing for me when I was in my early 20s. I just sort of landed on this identity of like my gender fluidity exists very powerfully in between the binaries of gender, which is like men and women, like where that exists. And that fucking sucked. Like it was the worst experience. Coming out as non-binary was the most debilitating, demoralizing, because it was something that was so private to me that when I made public and when I talked about it on social media, it was so much more of an issue than when I came out as gay, like, or as queer. Like it just was this whole other level of, okay, that's too much, now you're making things up. Do you know what I mean? Like it was, but it was when it was originally just such a personal thing. Like it was such a, it made sense to me, and as a sociology major, I'd studied so much about gender and sort of like the history of gender and cross-culturally how gender works, and so it was so clear to me. So how is it possible that it's so confusing to people? I think that was the struggle of when I came out as non-binary.
And had you planned it out in your head? Did it go as you might have thought?
Well, I think it was, so I actually got into social media and being a creator because I was using beauty as like a form of an apology to myself. Like it was like, everybody says beauty is a form of expression. I always say it's also a form of forgiveness. So it means that like every time I was cruel to myself when I was younger, or I said something cruel to myself, it's almost like every time I've done a beauty look, it's like another apology, another apology. It's like rebuilding that relationship with my younger self. So it was very personal. So then when I started to post about it publicly, that's where I like got into social media and I loved it and I started to do it. But the issue is, once it became very public, everybody, especially like hateful people, thought it was for them when it wasn't. They just started to attack it and go after it. And I was like, this was never for you. And so I think I've had a lot of trouble trying to navigate it now.